Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So, this is going to be a general reading for air sign Aquarius for February 18th through March 18th, but it is a timeless reading. For some people, it could resonate, like as an example, 6 months in the past or 6 months in the future. But it will be different for everybody. So whenever you see this reading, it is meant for you. It is a general reading as well, so we cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc., and of course, money and abundance, and all forms of abundance. All right. So yeah, I've pulled all of your cards here, Aquarius, and we will get into it in just a moment. I just want to go over a couple things and do a sound bell here real quickly before we start. So if you've seen me before, you kind of know the deal. But if you're new, or even if you're not new and you're coming back, or welcome in general, okay? So yeah, depending on where you are in your life, you may resonate more with, let's say, your moon sign or your sun sign or your rising sign. So if you don't already know your other placements, you can get a pretty good birth chart online for free just by Googling it. And even if you don't have your exact birth time, you can still find out what your other placements are. So for instance, this reading is for all forms of Aquarius energy. So it may resonate, let's say if you're a sun sign Aquarius, or rising sign Aquarius, or your moon's in Aquarius, you have Venus in Aquarius for matters of love. But even if it's in another part in your chart in general, we all have Aquarius somewhere in our chart, okay? So all are welcome is basically what I'm saying, okay? So what else? Yes, I do take one photo at the end of all the cards that I will be posting later after the live in case you want to see more up close in detail some of the cards. So if you're interested in that, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see it on my Facebook page. It's pretty easy. What else do we want to talk about real quickly? Yes, if you find as we get into the reading that this is not your reading, don't force it. It could be about the other person or multiple people that you're dealing with or general environment situation, or it's just not your reading at all. And so that's why I always tell people to check their other placements and the other zodiac videos that I have here on my reading. I also posted a separate astrology notes video for this time period if you want to get more further into the astrology a little bit. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and do a quick little sound bell here, Aquarius, and then we will get started. So just be aware it does get a little loud in case you're sensitive to that. And if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen as well. All right. All right. Aquarius. So sorry about this in the background. I usually keep a little music on for my dogs so they don't bark, but there is sporadic, and sometimes it happens when I'm doing the sound bell, which is very annoying, but hopefully it wasn't too distracting for you when you're listening to the sound bell. But anyway, it's just for some general grounding and healing for the reading. It doesn't mess anything up. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and put this over here for a moment since there's a lot on the table, and hopefully you can see some of what's going on here. So yeah, let's go ahead and set the timer just as a general kind of idea of what time it is, but I will always deliver the message the way that it's supposed to be. and I will never cut a reading short. So that's just kind of for me to keep up with the time a little bit, so I know what time it is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start here in the center with your main set of cards here. I'm using 2 different tarot decks. And then we will work outwards to your tarot confirmation cards, and at the very end, a couple of oracle cards as well. All right, so let's go ahead and call these out in the center, and then we'll go in order. So you have the Three of Staves, or also known as the Three of Wands, in the reverse position, the High Priestess in the reverse position, the King of Swords right side up, the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Tower in reverse, the Ten of Sacred Circles, also known as Ten of Pentacles, right side up, the Emperor in reverse, and the Fool in the reverse position as well. And real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and call out the other zodiac signs here I see in your reading as far as the major arcana. That way I don't forget, but when we are on that individual card, I'll probably mention it again, okay? So I believe you have 5 major arcanas in this reading, Aquarius, so that does speak of some significant amount of change. It could be big changes, it could be small changes, right? And it's not bad, it's not good either, it's just what it is, okay? And it will resonate differently for everybody since it is a general reading. Sorry guys, one second, my glasses are really dirty or something. I couldn't see very well there. Okay, much better. So real quickly, first let's do the zodiac signs. So we have Pisces, we have Scorpio, we have Gemini, Aries. Oh, wait, you have more than 5. I forgot, I didn't count these guys. Hold on, wait, let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the main, 9 in the center, and then you have 2 additional ones. So wow, that's 7 major arcanas. So I'll start again. We have Pisces energy, we have Scorpio energy, we have Aries, Gemini, we have Cancer. We also, with the Wheel of Fortune, we have Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio, so Scorpio twice. So what does this mean? It could mean that you're dealing with one of these signs, or it could be that the person you're dealing with is one of these signs, or they have one of these placements, or some of these placements, or all of these placements predominantly in their birth chart or in your birth chart. Or if you're dealing with multiple people, then they could definitely be showing up here as well. Or it could mean nothing to you at all, but I wanted to call it out while it was like fresh in my mind. All right, so let's talk about the rows real quickly and kind of like the general time frame that they represent. Okay, since this is going to be February 18th, a little backwards in time, since today is February 28th when I'm filming this, and then we're going to go all the way to March 18th, okay? So this first row, I believe I was saying yesterday that it was going to be from February 18th to the 28th. So the last week or so of February. And then the second row here going horizontal as well is going to be from March 1st through March 9th. And then the last row here is March 9th through the 18th. Again, these are just kind of general time frames. It could definitely resonate way before that or way after that, okay? Yeah, so what else? Usually there's a couple different places where there is energy from the recent past that'll be trickling into your reading, but you usually feel it the most in the beginning of the reading. So energy from the recent past, and what does that mean to you? It could be from a couple of days ago, a couple of hours ago, weeks, months, years, etc. That kind of could be impacting what cards are showing up in the beginning. Just a second, but a little bit of music on. All right. So when we start off here, Aquarius, with the Three of Staves in reverse position, also known as the Three of Wands in reverse. This is a feeling that's either you here, Aquarius, or the other person, or multiple people, general environment situation, maybe isn't quite ready to step back into a social scene in some way, isn't ready for a party or a gathering or a celebration, because it could be that there is some emotions under the surface that still need to be worked out, okay? So just so you can see, when the card is right side up, you see this couple and then this young man here carrying a gift going to a party, and it's Egyptian, okay, and the Nile River is in the background. So the water in the tarot represents emotions, but it did come out in reverse position. So it's not a negative thing. It could just show an energetic blockage, a challenge, or a reminder of something going on here. But it could, like I said, just be this feeling of somebody is not quite ready to go back into the social scene in some way. It doesn't have to be physically social. It could be energetically they're not ready to go back into a social scene. It could be they're not financially ready to go back into a social scene. It could be that they or you are not physically in the best health yet to go back into some type of social environment in some way. All right. But I wouldn't worry too much because you still have some really good cards here. But definitely a lot of change, like I said before, because I thought you had 5, but you actually have 7 major arcana. So lots of change happening. And with like the general astrology and even these individual zodiac general readings, right? Some people can feel it weeks ahead of time. Depends on how sensitive and tuned in you are. And some people maybe don't feel it at all, or some people feel it like halfway, right? So even though this row that we're on now is the last week of February, it could be you were feeling some of this even before that, all right? Now with your second card here, and this is some of that Pisces energy we were talking about before, with the High Priestess in the reverse position, it speaks of somebody is not using their intuition, their inner guidance system. There could be that there is some type of knowledge, secret knowledge, or secrets in general that are being denied or not being closely kept to their chest or your chest or multiple people's chests here, okay, because she is holding the scrolls, right, with the secret knowledge, just to show you. But it did come out in the reverse position. I feel that this intuition not being on point or listening to it, listening to your guides, your guardian angels, what have you, your gut feeling, your reaction to things. It could be why we had that 3 of Staves or 3 of Wands in reverse too. So you're not quite ready, excuse me, to go out in some way in a social environment, because if you haven't dealt with your emotions in some way, or the other person's emotions, or multiple people's emotions, then of course your intuition is off, because the only way to get your intuition to be clear and to channel and come through to you more is to work on yourself and embrace your shadow work, embrace looking at things that maybe aren't as comfortable or light as fun as you normally would like, but we all have those sides of us, and we have to embrace them if we want to, keep moving forward and not stuck in our lives, okay? And this is, like I always say, that there's blockages, challenges, reminders in every reading, okay? No reading is ever just like all the way perfect, all right? So there's light and dark and everything. All right, but going forward here, and this could be more towards where we are now with the third card, the end of February. Today's literally the last day of February, okay? It could even be going into the rest of this week, right, as we start March. You have the King of Swords in the right side up position. So this is about mental clarity, and that now somebody probably has come to the point where they're channeling their emotions in a positive way or in unison with their logical left brain, okay? Because again, there's water in this card as well. And you see this Japanese man is kind of huge figure standing over the ocean, and he's using his sword, right, as a tool to maybe hunt for fish. Right, so the swords and the wands and the tarot kind of have that quality where they can be a weapon or a tool. And here he's using it as a tool to go fishing, okay? But there is, a possible leveling up for some, or stepping into your own power, or the other person is, or multiple people, because this is a king, right? So it would go page, knight or prince, and then king. Okay, so it could be that some of you guys are now moving up in the next stage of something, a relationship, a job, creative project, or you're coming more into your power in some way or some type of leadership role if that's something that you do. But this is nice to see, regardless of how you may resonate with those things I just mentioned, but especially after the first two cards being more of like an energetic blockage here. This is again more for momentum and positive energy with the King of Swords in the right side up position. Now, going forward, when I was meditating on your reading here, Aquarius, before I turned on the camera, I was like, wow, this is really interesting reading. Not only because of all of the major arcanas, but the way that the cards came out, okay? And the reason why I say that, okay, is because your next card, your fourth card, is the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. Now, normally if I saw this card, by itself without the other cards surrounding it, I would say somebody has come out of a dark night of the soul energy. Okay, so they've suddenly embraced the intuition they were lacking before, either you yourself or others, right? Or both. And now they're like, okay, I'm not window shopping for options anymore. I know kind of exactly what I want. I'm ready to make a choice or decision, okay? Because it came out reversed for you. But when the card is right side up, you see, I think it's Morgana figure and this king here, and she's showing him each cup, and there's a different thing in every cup. So those all the different options, right? So they're not sure which one to take. They're like, I don't know. They haven't made the decision yet. But here in the reverse position, it's like someone maybe now made a decision, or again, they're coming out of this, or in addition to both of those things, coming out of this dark night of the soul energy. But with the surrounding cards here, Aquarius, I would say that could still be true for some of you guys. But there is either from you yourself, the other person, or multiple people, or maybe even just the universe, general environment, your guides, saying that it's not the right time yet for this, or something that has to do with making this decision or making this choice, okay? When we also talk about cups, though, the cups, just like the water in the tarot, represent our emotions, okay? But it's like asking yourself, what makes me emotionally happy, content, fulfilled, okay? But when it's in reverse, it's like somebody wasn't possibly asking those questions enough in the past, and they want to change that around. They want to set emotional boundaries, emotional priorities in some way, but they still have to make that choice and come out of the dark night of the soul energy. Now, when the next card comes out here, your fifth card, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this is why I said perhaps it's not the right time, okay? Perhaps you still need to wait in some way. Just be patient in general. Maybe luck isn't all the way on your side yet, and there'll be a better time to fully make this decision or make the next step. You can still make the decision, or they can still make the decision in their head or in their heart or their mind, but maybe not take all of the physical action to doing it yet, okay? Because the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse position. So the Wheel of Fortune is almost like the wheel of the year, the changing of the seasons, right? And so it represents time. So maybe it's not time quite yet, or time isn't on your side all the way here with something. Now, it seems with your sixth card here, there's also something going on where somebody is denying some type of enlightenment, okay? Because you have, and I forgot to say too, the Wheel of Fortune, whether it's reversed or right side up, the zodiac signs it represents is Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo, okay? So again, that could mean something to you, but it doesn't have to. Now going forward, your sixth card is the Tower in the reverse position. And so this is that enlightenment not being fully understood, pieces of information not being downloaded correctly. Sorry, I have a hair or something. And my hair looks crazy too. But, normally the tower would represent change, right? And it does still here, whether it's good change or bad change. But the change here is being resisted against or denied or not accepted, okay? And so that could be you here, Aquarius, because maybe it's not the right time for something yet, right? With that Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So maybe that makes you frustrated and you get impatient and you're trying to force the change, or the other person's trying to force it, or there's a resistance happening again. And when we talk about enlightenment or getting more information or spiritual downloads or aha moments, right? If the tower card was right side up, you see the lightning hitting the top of the tower. So that represents your crown chakra, where you first kind of logically understand something. So here somebody isn't logically understanding something. They're not open to this change, whether again it's a big change or a small change. But it could just be also you, Aquarius, or the other person is frustrated with it, that it's quite not the right time yet for this change. And so maybe that's just the natural feeling of the resistance following it. But again, it is a general reading, so it will resonate differently for everyone. Now, this last three cards we just talked about was in the second row, so that's energy around March 1st, as an example. It's not exact, March 1st through March 9th. So for the rest of this week or even into this weekend, there could be some of the energy that's around, okay? And if that is the case for you, or the other person or multiple people, general environment, I wouldn't worry too much, okay? Because then as we get into your third row here, and this would be from March 9th through the 18th or so, not exact, right? We do have the 10 of Sacred Circles, also known as the 10 of Pentacles, now in the right side up position, okay? And here, when we talk about tens in the tarot, when they're in the right side up position, it's a completion card. So in the tarot, it's 0 through 10, 10 being the highest number. So it could be that now in the second week of March here, you are now ready to step up or level up in some way with a promotion at work, or excuse me, a change of status at work, or a creative project, or whatever you do, or in a relationship, or with your health, or just general abundance too. Because when we talk about sacred circles and pentacles, right, that means wealth and money and abundance in all forms. But it doesn't just have to end there, right? So when we talk about abundance, it's more than that. It's whatever you're trying to manifest in your life. You could be wanting to get rid of something. You could be wanting to draw something in. Both of those things, of course. But it is positive energy and forward momentum here. Okay, and it is interesting as well because, and this has been happening the last couple of readings. I don't know why. I used to do 2-week time periods. Now I'm doing 4.5 or something. So maybe that's why. But the full moon is in the top of this card here. And we have in this row, March 18th, we have the full moon in Virgo. So it could be that this energy starts to happen a little bit before the full moon, and maybe it's culminating and coming together and coming to the highest point, just like the number 10, right? That May 18th, what did I say, May 18th? Sorry, March 18th, okay, the full moon in Virgo. And normally with all full moons, generally, right, as a general rule, because everyone is different, the highest point of the energy of the full moon is the day before, the day of, and the day after. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind if you weren't already aware. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. Now, and make sure my music back a little. Okay. So moving forward, we just talked about the 10 of Sacred Circles, or 10 of Pentacles, right side up. And now we're getting into your 8th card, Aquarius, is the Emperor in the reverse position. And here we have the Aries energy that I mentioned before. Okay, so you could be dealing with the Aries, or you have a lot of Aries in your chart, or the other person does, or multiple people, or has something to do with astrology. I don't think it does, because I did the astrology notes video, and I don't. Oh, wait. No, that is wrong. We do have something happening in Mars. Hold on, guys. I think it's March 6th. Mars and Venus go into Capricorn, but let me check. Hold on. I spoke too soon. Wait, okay. Here we go. Let me grab my notes. Yeah, I was kind of half right. So Mars goes into Aquarius on March 6th, and also on March 6th, Venus enters into Aquarius. So why did I bring that up right now? So Mars is the ruler of Aries, and we have Aries card here. So Mars is the Greek god of war, of fighting, anger, frustrations, annoyingness on the darker, lower vibrational frequency side, but also on the same side of that Mars and Aries energy is also creativity, leadership qualities, passion, right? All these beautiful things, okay? So when Mars is going to be entering into Aquarius on March 6th, it could be that now you're having Mars, the fire energy, and Aquarius, which you are Aquarius. We're doing an Aquarius reading, wherever it is that Aquarius shows up in your chart. If you're not a sun sign, rising sign Aquarius, or you're moon Aquarius, now you're having fire and air coming together. So, that can be always, can be depending on each person, since it's a general reading, it can be a good thing or a bad thing. But generally, I would say, especially with what's going on right now politically, when we talk about Mars, right, that hopefully the air energy of using logic is going to come in and checkmate any of the lower vibrational frequencies of Mars, of the fighting, the anger, the frustration, the annoyances. Okay, so we always want to raise our vibration and bring out the best in each other and in ourselves. So there could be something going on here. Okay, with, even though technically the second row is March 6th, it could have started around there, and then it's still trickling into that last row, March 9th through the 18th, and something happening around the full moon as well. But put all that little stuff aside, right? Let's get into what this card represents for you here too, okay? So here we have the Emperor, the Aries energy, in the reverse position here. And it's following that 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Sacred Circles that we just talked about before as well. So it's interesting. It's like a little bit of back and forth energy of like stepping into someone's power, having more abundance, positive energy for momentum progress. And then with the Emperor in the reverse position, it could be that somebody is not seeing something from a higher perspective. They could be a little bit nervous or scared or hesitant to be an emperor, to set in their power and sit on the throne, right? Regardless of how you identify your gender or whatever, right? And it could also be that there's a little bit of imbalance, right, of somebody's masculine and feminine energies, because that's also what shows up if the card was right side up. You have these two ram symbols, the symbol of Aries on each end of his throne here. Okay, and it's supposed to be kind of the masculine and feminine energy, even though they're both rams with the horns, and you think that's only male energy. That could be more of a note about when you think of the god of war, you think of a man, you think of men fighting, right? Even just historically, that has been a stereotype, because women fight too, okay? And women are warriors too, right? In many different cultures. But for me, the way that I talk about it is it's like one is on each side, okay? And so it should be more of the feminine and masculine energies that we all have inside of us, right? That would make you a good leader. That would make you a good emperor, right? Or a higher position of authority, whatever it may be, okay? But also when we talk about the emperor as an example, if it was right side up, even though it's reversed here for you, we also have this eagle or this bird that's sitting at the top of his staff here. And so birds, as we know, can fly and they see things from a higher perspective. So in order to be a good leader, in order to be, in a position of authority where you delegate tasks to others or you're responsible for others, even if you're just a parent or whatever it is, or even if you are teaching somebody something or what have you, right? You need to be able to see how other people see. You need to see all the pieces and perspectives, not just your own, okay? So when it's in the reverse position here for you, Aquarius, it could be that someone, again, is not seeing something from a larger viewpoint or perspective, or way of looking at something. It could be that masculine, feminine energies aren't all the way balanced. It could be a hesitancy to step into a leadership role or owning their own power, whether it's you or another person or both people, or a general environment situation, or the astrology that I mentioned before, right? You know, when I said that Mars is going into Aquarius on March 6th, it could be that the reason why the card is also in the reverse position, it could be that it feels unnatural to some of you guys. If you are a sun sign or rising sign Aquarius. Do you guys hear that? Oh my God, it's my refrigerator. I think it's breaking. It's been doing that lately. It scared the shit out of me the other day. Anyway, side note. Just hopefully it'll stop in a second. But yeah. It could be, let me get back to what I was talking about. It could be that the reason why the Emperor is in the reverse position here, Aquarius, is that somebody is resisting the Mars energy, right? It could be because you're going from this fire sign energy to the air sign energy and having them come together. It could be just a little bit of resistance there as well if the other things didn't resonate with you. All right, moving forward, and now that the refrigerator stopped talking, your last card here, Aquarius, in the main center, and the first 9 cards that we're talking about, is the Fool in the reverse position. And here we have some Gemini energy. Okay, so it could mean something. It could mean something to you, or it doesn't have to. Okay, but with it in the reverse position, and it's following the Emperor in reverse too. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. So when we think, or when I think of Mars energy, the Greek god of war, right? If you're a warrior and you're using this passion, this fiery energy, you could also have a really strong ego. You could be really confident, right? Which is not always necessarily a bad thing as long as it's, you know, in balance kind of place. But with the Fool in the reverse position here, and I'll bring up the other one too, it's almost like somebody doesn't want to look at issues of look at issues of identity and ego, right? Because normally if this card in this deck is right side up, you see a fortune teller tarot reader, right? And she's holding a mirror image card of herself. And in the background, there is literally that round mirror, okay? And so that says, since it's the Fool card, am I foolish? What does it mean to be a fool? Do I look foolish to myself? Do I look foolish to others? Can I trust myself? Can I trust others? Blah, 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 right? But it's in reverse. So we put it together, with the Emperor in reverse and that Mars energy we just took a moment to talk about. It's like, okay, my ego is maybe taking a blow. My ego has maybe taken a blow to it. Maybe somebody hurt my feelings, or I hurt my own feelings, or I'm just straight up denying that I have some type of underlying issues with ego and identity, or I'm not ready to make a leap of faith in some way until I address these things, right? Because remember when I said too, the Emperor in reverse, not ready to level up in some way, to step into their power, into a leadership role, okay? They're also not ready to make a leap of faith or to trust in you, or you're not ready to trust in yourself or the other person, or both of you, what have you, okay? So it's not a horrible thing. I think that, again, it could just be also a little bit of stagnant energy, energetic blockage, a reminder, right? It's not the end of the world, okay? Now, actually, I want to, for a second, go back a little bit here to that. You had 2 cards with Scorpio energy. You had the Wheel of Fortune in reverse back in the second row, the first week of March, the week that we're going into now, right? So March 1st through the 9th. And then you also had the Tower in reverse. It's also Scorpio energy. Now, this is actually where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of one of your decks here, okay? To give us even more insight about maybe why these two cards came up. And then we'll go back to the last row and talk about what's on the top and the bottom of the other deck to get even more insight, okay? So when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, this is energy from the past, not the recent past, but way further back. It'll be different for everybody. But what we have is the Four of Cups in the right side up position on the top, okay? And then we have the Two of Cups in the reverse position on the bottom here. And we're talking about it in relation to the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Tower in reverse, both of those kind of Scorpio energies. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is also Taurus energy, Leo energy, and Aquarius energy, you yourself, right? But I'm mainly focusing on the Scorpio energy because it's in both of these cards. So it's kind of feels more Scorpio to me, but it'll be different for everyone. All right. Anyway, so when you take a look at these cards, the Four of Cups when it's right side up in the way back past, somebody was dissatisfied with something emotionally. They were maybe not liking their emotional options. They weren't liking what was being currently offered to them in the way back past in some way, and this brought up emotions of this kind of like blah energy of just like, yeah, I don't feel excited about something. I don't feel passionate about something. I'm just like, you know? But what's great about the Four of Cups is once you get past that energy and you see this woman looking at those three cups like blah, right? She's leaning against the tree. She's like, whatever. Here you see, though, at the top of the card, the hand of the divine coming in from the clouds, bringing that fourth cup. It's just basically saying, if you change your perspective and look up, or if you have a little more patience, better things that you vibe with better, that will make you passionate and excited again, will come back. Okay. Now, what's interesting though, right, because we had two cards here, I just put one behind the other so you could see, focus better, is here the Two of Cups is in the reverse position. Again, another Cups card, and Cups represent our emotions. So when the Two of Cups is in reverse, again, past energy, this could be saying that there was a union in the way back past. It could have been a romantic union, platonic with friends or family, a work partnership, or a union of different parts of yourself, right? But it kind of, spoke of like this energy of lower vibrational frequencies, right? Not bringing out the best in each other, or if it's with multiple people and multiple people, or if it's not with people, but just two energies that you were feeling and working through, okay? But it seems like the balance was off in the way back past, okay? So there wasn't an equal give and take, all right? And so when we talk about these cards with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Tower in reverse, it could be that it wasn't time yet. This is present, future, current energies. This is way back past energies. So it could be that something happens here that triggers somebody or should trigger somebody to something that was going on in the past, okay, with not giving enough or giving too much, or what's the other thing I was thinking of? I forgot to say. With not bringing out the best in each other, right, too, or having the patience. So here with the Wheel of Fortune, I would say that it was more about not having patience, right? To wait for the hand for the divine to come in and bring in these better circumstances, better options, better people that you would be excited to work with, passionate to work with, whatever it is, whether it's work, relationships, romantic, platonic, etc., or health, money, whatever. Okay, but when we put it together with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's like somebody still is having an issue with the timing of it. Okay, so it could be out of your control, Aquarius. It could be the universe saying it's not the right time yet, or you don't have luck all the way on your side yet, or the other person doesn't, or multiple people, general environment situation. Okay. Let me put this here for a second. And then when we talk about the Tower in reverse, right, with this Two of Cups in reverse, it's almost like resistance to change, big or small, resistance to enlightenment, receiving more information, spiritual downloads, aha moments, revelations, all those things in relation to a past union. Okay? So it could be that somebody, as an example, right, is like, oh, remember that job you used to have, that work partnership you used to have. The reason why it didn't work out, I found out, blah, 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 blah. But you're like, oh, no, no. Or the other person's like, oh, no, no. Multiple people are like, oh, no, no. I can't hear you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to receive the information. Or if you do receive it, you just don't understand it. Okay? All right. Now going forward back to where we were. I'll put these over here just to know that I talked about them already. We were going to talk about what is on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, okay, in relation to your last two cards in the center, the Emperor in reverse and the Fool in reverse. Okay, so this is present energy. Again, present, future, okay. And then what's on the top and the bottom of this deck is way, way back past energy. So we have the Chariot in reverse. Okay, that's Cancer energy. All right, and then we have the Hanged One, or also known as the Hanged Man, in the right side up position on the bottom, okay, of your deck here. So this could be saying that in the way, way back past, again, there's like this, you really see it with this card. Let me cover up the other one for a second. When we talk about an imbalance of masculine and feminine energies, or just stagnant energy in general, right? Because it's stopped. When the Chariot's right side up, it's moving, he's galloping forward, but it's reversed, it's stopped, okay? It's stagnant, it's not moving. But you see the lions, one on each side, just like when I was talking about the rams, one on each side with the Emperor. It goes right side up just so you can see, right? That's that feminine and masculine energy again, okay? There is not a quite enough balance there, okay? This could be for you, Aquarius. It could be with the person you're dealing with, or multiple people you're dealing with, or it's the general environment situation, right? But it seems like what happened in the past was that was a catalyst for then someone to get a new perspective, okay? And maybe it's saying you need it again, all right? Because here the Hanged One or the Hanged Man shows up and they're like, okay, I'm going to turn upside down. I'm going to look at it from this way. I'm going to look at it from that way. Or someone's point of view or their philosophy or whatever it is, right? And so here, when it's like, I don't want to look at myself. I don't want to look at the other person. I don't trust. I don't want to make a leap of faith. I don't want to step into my power. I don't want to look at something from the other perspective or from all perspectives like the bird does, right? Seeing all the pieces. When you're in the plane, you see all the states, right? If you're, or different cities or wherever you are in the world, right? But here it's saying you did it before in the past, Aquarius, or the other person did it before in the past, Aquarius, that you're dealing with multiple people, general environment situation. So it's kind of like saying just switch your perspective a little bit and be patient, all right? Oh, child, okay. So with that being said, now let's get into your tarot confirmation cards. And I want to just move everything down a little bit. All right. So I'll call them out and then we'll go in order here. Okay. So we have, and first off too, the first two tarot confirmation cards are energy from the recent past, okay? And then the last two are more future, current possibilities, energies, okay? So we have the Five of Swords in the right side up position. We also have the Nine of Cups in reverse. We have the King of Pentacles right side up, and we have the Two of Swords in reverse here. Okay, so in the recent past, somebody here was struggling with, excuse me, my nose is itchy. Was struggling with staying in the present moment. Somebody here could have also been overly defensive and prone to anxiety, worry, overthinking because they were focusing too much on the past and the future and not being in the present moment. So here this guy has just battled these two guys and he won. So instead of just taking his sword and leaving, he is a little bit of greedy energy or that over defensive energy, like I need all the protection. And so he's picking up all these swords when he really only needs one, right? And it looks like too that, you know, some are down, some are up. Normally you want all the swords to be up, okay? So it's about half and half here, all right? But this is energy from the recent past, okay? So this card is confirmation card. It's coming in here, the Five of Swords. It's confirming the Three of Wands or Three of Staves in reverse, the Seven of Cups in reverse, and the Ten of Sacred Circles, Ten of Pentacles right side up, okay? We'll do them one by one here. So when it's confirming the Three of Staves or Three of Wands in reverse, the first card you had in your reading here, Aquarius, it could be the reason why you're not ready, or the other person or multiple people, general environment isn't ready to step back into some type of social environment or scene, okay? It's because somebody's emotions, right, weren't being processed or faced in some way. And it could be related to health issues. It could be related to financial issues, love issues, whatever, okay? But it's because in the recent past, there was a lot of anxiety, worry, overthinking, too much about the future, too much about the past, and not enough about the present moment. So how do you get out of the Three of Staves or Three of Wands in reverse? Focus on the present moment more, and don't be so overly defensive. Get out of your head. The other person get out of their head. Multiple people get out of their head and look for more balance. Okay. All right. Now, when this Five of Swords right side up is confirming the Seven of Cups, it could be that somebody here, you know, is coming out of this dark night of the soul energy. They're now ready to make a decision or choice and pick which cup they want, which thing they want, right? Even though it's in reverse, because when it's right side up, they haven't made the choice yet, but here they have. Okay. But it could also be that the reason why maybe it's taking so long, because there's like all these underlying thing in your reading here. Also with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Tower in reverse and some of the other stuff in reverse. Not all reversals are bad, but it's like this lack of patience or not having enough trust that better things will come along. But with the Five of Swords right here, confirming this card, it's really like if you're able to focus on the present moment, or the other person is able to focus more on the present moment, then they're going to be able to really own that option or choice or decision that they've made faster, okay? And they'll be more relaxed, or you'll be more relaxed, or everyone will be more relaxed, right? Because you're living in the present moment, you know, which is all we really have anyway, right? Now, because no one's guaranteed tomorrow, all right? When we talk about the Five of Swords right side up with the Ten of Sacred Circles right side up, this really is, in this case, it was a catalyst, okay? And it could have been a catalyst too for the Seven of Cups in reverse, because it came out in more positive energy. But with the first one, it was still like energetic blockage, more explaining why. But the last two, it feels more like a catalyst, okay, right? Because the Ten of Sacred Circles, the Ten of Pentacles is right side up, okay? So maybe the reason why you're able to create more abundance in your life, whether it's wealth or money or whatever it is you want to manifest in your life, maybe in that second week of March, is because you are focusing more on the present moment. You are being less defensive, okay? And you are balancing your mental with not staying too much up in your head, or the other person who's doing these things, or multiple people, general environment situation, all right? Now, when we go to your second tarot confirmation card, this is also energy from the recent past. And here we have the Nine of Cups in the reverse position. So cups represent our emotions, right? And 9 is almost 10, okay? But it's in reverse. Let me come a little closer here. So it's almost, so you can see the card is really pretty. All right, so it looks right side up, but it's reversed here. So it's almost like somebody's not ready to, in the recent past, and I think we've said this in other ways already in your reading, to level up, to step up in a relationship, in a job, get better health, whatever it is, get more money, whatever it is. Somebody in the recent past wasn't quite ready to do that, even though it would be a good thing for themselves or the other person or multiple people, right? Excuse me. So, you know, I would say too that the Nine of Cups, or any nines card really, it does tend to have well, not all of them, not the Nine of Swords, but all the other nines cards, I would say, has this quality to have a very supportive energy, right? But when the Nine of Cups is in reverse, it's like maybe in the recent past you weren't supported. You didn't feel support from your support system, whether it's friends or family, mental health care worker, etc., whatever you consider your support system. And so maybe that kind of blocked your abundance or blocked your emotional contentment, emotional fulfillment, emotional happiness, right? Because when the cups are in the reverse position, it's like somebody wasn't happy emotionally in some way with something here regarding advancing or leveling up or stepping up, okay? But when this Nine of Cups card is coming in here, right, and it is confirming the High Priestess in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Emperor in reverse, it is just explaining why, right? Because these are all still blockages, energetic blockages, okay? Challenges or reminders. But it's not all bad, because sometimes that's just the way it is. We have to go through these lessons in order to appreciate and then move forward, okay? So, I would say with the High Priestess in reverse here, what do the cups represent? Our emotions. What is the High Priestess all about? Just like the Hermit card. Okay, I always talk about the Hermit and the High Priestess being very similar, is using your intuition. If you're not in touch with your emotions and your cups are reversed, then your High Priestess is going to be reversed too. So don't let any past emotional discontentment or emotional disappointment or not using your intuition or getting in touch with your emotions, don't let that happen again or keep happening, right? So yeah, I would say yeah. Now when we talk about the Wheel of Fortune in reverse with the Nine of Cups in reverse, it's like here you know somebody's saying that it's not the right time. It could be you yourself, Aquarius, the other person, multiple people, or just also the general environment situation, your guides saying not it's not quite the right time yet. Luck is not all the way on your side yet. And it could be again because somebody wasn't ready to level up in some way yet and they were dealing with their emotions. All right. So if you're not ready, when we talk about law of attraction, if you're not, trying to think of the way to say it, if you're not energetically welcoming in a raise or welcoming in that easy, you still have to do the physical work to get there or whatever work we're talking about, emotional work, right? But if you don't have that energetic same vibration within yourself, then it's going to be harder for the universe to bring that to you. Okay, so that's really what I feel with the Nine of Cups in reverse, right? And the same thing when the Nine of Cups is in reverse, confirming the Emperor in reverse. Not ready to be a leader yet, not ready to step into power all the way, or see something from a higher perspective, different viewpoints, angle, etc. Because the emotions still need to be worked out and the vibration, okay, needs to match better, okay? Now moving forward, let's talk about your two confirmation, your last two ones here that are now more future, yes, right on the bell, current energies. These two were recent past, and then these two are more future, current, present energies, okay? So your third tarot confirmation card is the King of Pentacles in the right side up position. Here he is, right? And he's coming in here and he's confirming the King of Swords right side up, the Tower in reverse, and the Fool in reverse, okay? So I would say that for one of the cards, the King of Swords, he was a catalyst, all right? They're both matching their vibration. And the other two, more of a reminder, but we'll go in order here. Make sure I put them back the way they were. Okay, so they're both kings, right? King of Swords, King of Pentacles, matching the vibration, okay? So when I was saying here, Aquarius, that maybe towards the end of February, first week of March, you're going to feel more mental clarity, or the other person is, or multiple people, general environment situation, going to use the intellect as a tool not just a weapon, right? And he's going to go fishing like this guy is in the King of Swords. And then with the King of Pentacles here, you're going to have more abundance in your life. The other thing is he's standing up here, the King of Pentacles, but right behind him is, and actually you do have, this is technically a minor arcana, not a major arcana, but you have 2 cards in your reading that speak of Taurus energy. So there could be, you're dealing with a Taurus, or you have a lot of Taurus in your chart, or they do, or something with the astrology. I don't think there was anything with Taurus happening. Let me check real quick. I don't think so. So yeah. Anyway, I just see it. Okay. Back to what I was trying to say. With the King of Pentacles, he has a lot of support around him. He's standing up, right? But the throne is behind him. And then when we see the symbol of the bull in 3 different places, and that is that Taurus energy, and that's why I mentioned it again, okay? But it doesn't matter, it's just a small thing. But they are both kings, they are both stepping into their power, right? And so this is really saying here, Aquarius, that the more you can, or the other person or multiple people, general environment situation, can, stuff in my hair, whatever. The more that you can balance your emotions and use it in a positive way, not just to attack others, right? When we talk about the intellect, the swords and the tarot, right? There can be somebody who's like really sharp-witted, really fast thinker, right? And they could use their words to like hurt somebody on either necessarily or either unnecessarily or necessarily. Like they did it on purpose or they didn't do it on purpose, right? But here it's kind of saying the more that you can help others and not hurt them, that will create more abundance for you and more support for you, and just really positive things and progress in general, okay? Now, when the King of Pentacles comes in here and confirms the Tower in reverse, it's like, yes, if you're going to resist change, whether it's big or small, or resist information, either from yourself or from others or both, this is going to block your abundance and flow. So how to get back to the abundance and flow and progress of the King of Pentacles? Don't resist the changes, big or small, even if they're scary, right? Everything does happen for a reason, okay? So we'll say that. And then with the Fool in reverse, with the Fool in reverse also being confirmed by the King of Pentacles right side up. If you are ready to make a leap of faith in some way and have more trust in something, or the other person is multiple people, this can bring more abundance. Who cares what other people think as long as you're not hurting anyone or they're not hurting anyone, okay? Because at the end of the day, in the beginning of the day, you are the only person you have to really face, right? You can hide from other people, but you can't hide from yourself, okay? So if you want to flip the Fool around, look at yourself, embrace those things. Don't put too much stock into what other people think, and do what's best for you as long as you're not hurting anybody. And then you can, again, have more abundance in your life and more support and progress. All right. Now, with the last tarot confirmation card, the Two of Swords in reverse, and this is more future, current, present energies. It's going to come in and confirm the same row we just did, but a little bit differently, right? So here we have it confirming the King of Swords, right side up, the Tower in reverse, and the Fool in reverse. So again, it's almost like, in one way, it was a catalyst, or could be a catalyst in his future or present energies. And the other way, it's still more of a reminder, okay, or challenge, okay, to work on those things. But we have one sword is up, one is reversed. Well, let me stop there. They're actually both future, present, current energies, okay? I was going to say one was the past, but it's not true. I'll take it back. But before, actually, let me put this down for a second. Let me talk about what this card means by itself. I forgot to do that. When we have the Two of Swords in the reverse position, and it's, on the table with your other cards, right? I would say that it would be um, somebody has really worked hard to integrate their heart chakra and their intellect, what they feel, and the logical brain, what they think, okay? Because when it's right side up and yours was reversed, they're still working on it. You see this woman blindfolded with the two swords in front of her chest, okay? So she's still working on it. When it's in reverse, it's like I see that integration happening, okay, or it's already started to happen or will continue to happen, okay. And here, when we put it together with the card that's confirming the King of Swords, it's like you can do it. You started maybe the process even the end of February or a couple months ago, years, etc., whatever, okay. But here they both have water in the cards, right, in the background. So they're both willing to work on their emotions in a positive way and use it as a tool, not just a weapon. Okay, only protect yourself when you really need to. Don't be overly defensive, right? And so then you can have this integration more for yourself, Aquarius, or the other person can integrate their heart chakra and their head chakra, crown chakra. Clear. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, I really see that this is a good card, even though it's in the reverse position, because it's coming, that integration has happened, okay? And that kind of echoes the King of Swords we just talked about. Now, when this Two of Swords comes in here and confirms the Tower in reverse position, this is more like showing you if you don't, guys, knock it off. Sorry. If you don't, Aquarius or the other person, multiple people, embrace change, embrace the new information, new enlightenment, spiritual downloads, revelations, right? If you don't do that, then you can't have the head and the heart integration, okay? So that's pretty simple. Nefertiti, I am not playing with you right now. No. And it's not dinner time yet. Now, when the Two of Swords in reverse, it's also confirming the Fool in reverse. It's like, yeah, same thing. If you don't look at ego and identity things, if you don't have trust in something or make a leap of faith in something, okay, then you're possibly not going to have the head and heart chakra coming together and now working together, whether it's for you yourself, Aquarius, or for the other person, or multiple people, general environment situation, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, all right? I'm hoping that with all the disruptions and things, that made sense for you guys, okay? So that is what I have for you regarding the tarot, but real quickly, before I go and feed this kitty cat who's clearly starving, I'm gonna give you your oracle cards as well. You wanna sit on my lap while I do the oracle cards? Will you be quiet? Okay. All right, just roll with it. So Aquarius, your first oracle card is your love oracle message. Whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends or family or self-love or all the above, it's really cute. It says playfulness, and it says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. All right, very nice. And so again, if it's not romance, it's the same thing with friends or family, right? To recapture a more youthful, fun energy vibe, right? Get in touch with your inner child and your inner joy, and you can have more fun, right? And so that would be the same for self-love too, right? When you're working on self-love, it doesn't always have to be all the hard shadow work. That's very important and you should do it, okay? It does work, even though it's difficult. But on the other side, playfulness it can be underrated as well, right? Bring out the inner child, do things that that you can do for yourself that you enjoy, that are positive, all that good stuff. So get more playfulness in there, all right? Now, your last oracle message here is really pretty. Hopefully I'm saying this right. This is from, first of all, the Remy or Rumi Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. And so Remy or Rumi, depending on how you pronounce it, is a 13th century poet, Persian poet. He's one of my favorite. So she made an oracle deck with some really nice visuals here, and that they're paired with some of his poetry. So the card that you got here, Aquarius, is card number 27, and it's the Angel Razabar. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, just a little bit here, some of the poem, and then a little 2-second ritual you can do to get into the energy of this card. Okay, so it says, the Angel Razabar. Tell me the truth, I asked love. What are you? I am the everlasting life, love said. I am the reoccurring joy of living. The master speaks of a den of riches where many precious jewels can be found. In abundance they lie, patient and ready to be claimed. Go scoop them up, urges the master. The devoted ones look but cannot see. Where are these precious jewels, they cry, but we cannot find them anywhere. The master gazes lovingly at the devoted ones and responds kindly, in service, my beloveds, you shall find the jewels through service. For what is the soul but the finest and most precious of the heavenly jewels? What is service but the scooping up of the soul, that it does not lie lost nor unclaimed, but instead honored for all its precious worth and beauty, tended to until it becomes vibrant as a flawless ruby, radiant with the joy of living. Wow, that's really pretty. I don't remember that one. How nice. I like it. All right, and it says here for the little ritual, a little prayer you can say, or intention. It says, say aloud, I am blessed to serve the great, all-loving silence through the presence of divine joy, grace, and radiant compassion, through the master that loves me without condition, and the blessed assistance of Angel Razabar, who loves me unconditionally. I accept all help, and I offer myself completely in service to life, to being, and to assist humanity in a practical way, according to the graces and talents I have been given. So be it. All right. That's beautiful. So yeah, maybe, I'm not, familiar with Razabar. I might have to look that up later and see if that's an actual angel that I'm not familiar with, or a type of angel or custom that was, worshipped back in Persia in the 13th century. Or maybe it's not a name of an angel, but like a translation thing. It doesn't really say, but I would be curious to know. But anyway, that is it. That is it, guys. Hopefully, you found something there that resonated for you. Thanks as always for your patience, for your likes, for your shares. If you share the video, the likes not only let me know that you resonate with the material, but it also tells YouTube algorithm that they can share it with more people. So it's a free way to help support my channel. I do appreciate anything you feel comfortable with doing. And then, yeah, likes, shares, and then also subscriptions. They're all free, right? So if you like this video and you haven't already subscribed and you want to get notified of when I put out new videos, it is the bell icon on the bottom right. All you have to do is click it and make sure it's blue and it's active, and it'll tell you when I put out new videos. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I'm going to take a break here and then hopefully come back in a little bit with Capricorn, since we're going backwards through the signs. All right, you guys, see you later. Take care. Bye.